All right, welcome everyone. Tonight we are going to spend time with wildflowers. And I have been wanting to share wildflowers for quite a while, but it didn't really feel like the time. And then these last few weeks we have been hanging out with stones and boulders and rocks and living water. And after all of those beautiful teachings and some teachings Megan shared on Thursday, and people shared after she brought beautiful information, I realized wildflowers are a perfect follow-up to those themes, especially because we talked about new ways of flowing. And wildflowers, as Megan has mentioned in a past flower, she says flowers. So I was thinking, oh, wild flowers. And wildflowers, they flow everything. I mean, they're nearly the whole world over. So I don't know, it felt energetically like a fun follow-up to all of this living water and flowing around boulders and boulders adding interest to life and dissolving blockages over time with the patience of the stones and the wisdom of water, and then to connect that with wildflowers. So that is why wildflowers are here tonight, but they're on my mind pretty much every day. So yeah, so that's how we got here. And I will go ahead and share my screen. All right, can everyone see that? Yeah, okay. So this slide just starts us with the beauty of wildflowers. Probably many of you, like me, find wildflowers inspiring and enchanting. So this happy quarter will be dedicated to just absorbing their wonder. And as we begin this absorption, I invite us to find our Qigong, our meditation posture, rooting to the earth, straightening the spine, lifting the crown of the head to the heaven, maybe rolling the shoulders, taking a few deep breaths, just relaxing into that state of Mingjue, of peaceful awareness. And I will read Dr. Pong's 8 verses to help bring us deeper into this peaceful awareness. And as we go through the slides, just relax into the information, relax into the beauty presented here by these wildflowers, and just let it kind of roll and flow, just like the water that Megan has been sharing with us, flowing around the boulders. Just let the information flow through the system, just like that. So you can allow your eyes to soften, or you can read the verses with me, whatever feels good. Head expands into the sky, feet into the earth. Body is relaxed, mind expands out. Be respectful, quiet inside. The mind is clear, the appearance is humble. The mind is still. The mind expands out to the vast void. Illuminate deep inside. The whole body is harmonized with qi. Harmonized with qi. Harmonized with qi. Oh, and as we begin, I want to thank Robin. Many of these photos have been generously shared by Robin, and they're all gorgeous. So thank you. We will benefit greatly from these sharings. Wildflowers are flowering plants that grow naturally in the wild without direct human cultivation. They can be native species that evolved in a region or non-native volunteers that naturalized outside of formal gardens. Their adaptability to local climates, soils, and elevations allows them to carpet hillsides, plains, forests, roadsides, rock outcroppings, and deserts. We've also all probably seen the wildflowers coming up in the sidewalk cracks. Ah. And flower shapes, colors, and bloom times vary widely, and they're often timed to local climate and pollinator activity. So each wildflower has its own rhythm based on its environment. So it really does flow with what's present, with the life around it, the water, the sunlight, soil, everything. It's very connected. It's fully connected. And wildflowers, they self-sow from seed, and the seed is spread by wind, water, or wildlife. So it has no human intervention in these cases. Um, And let's see, there are three different types of wildflowers, and we're probably all familiar with these. There are annual wildflowers, and the annual wildflowers complete their life cycle in one growing season, and they return when conditions are favorable, and they return from this self-seeding. So usually they're prolific seed droppers, and that's how they come back year after year. And then there are biennial wildflowers, and they follow a 2-year cycle with foliage one year and then blooms the next. And of course, there are perennial wildflowers, which many of us are familiar with, and they return year after year from the same root system. They also self-sow seeds, so they'll return from new seeds that get dropped as well. Mm. Wildflowers exhibit a variety of growth habits, from lone, scattered individuals to dense, colorful drifts and colonies. And these photos highlight that. You can see this beautiful blanket of yellow flowers coating these mountains. And that would be an example of the mass growth. And then, of course, we see a lone wildflower in the other photo. And whether they're found in large groups or as solitary individuals, wildflowers form part of complex ecosystems. And in so doing, they support insects, birds, and small mammals, providing food and habitat based on the needs of the wildlife. And their deep or fibrous roots provide soil stabilization and help prevent erosion on slopes and roadsides. Wildflowers increase plant variety, which fosters resilient ecosystems. And we can see that in these photos. You see a smattering of wildflowers along this slope, and there's a beautiful river. And then we see a butterfly, so the pollinator support. And this is fireweed. And fireweed is a wildflower example, and it plays an important role in ecological succession. It helps to restore ecosystems in places that would otherwise stand desolate from natural or man-made destruction, such as forest fires, which is what we see in this photo. But it's not just forest fires that they could repopulate after, it's avalanches, logging, mining, road creation, anything that disturbs the landscape. So you see, this fireweed is very patient. It waits until there's a disturbance and then it blossoms and flowers and it helps bring life back to this topically destroyed area. And I'll just let us hold this photo a little. This is another really stunning example of fireweed colonizing a landscape after devastation. Forest fire again here. But you see these rolling hills of pink, and fireweed is edible, so it's an excellent example of the power that a wildflower species can bring to the ecosystem. Mm. Across cultures, wildflowers are considered symbols of life, interwoven with nature's cycles, reminding us of our own growth, harmony, interconnectedness, and unity with every living being. Their capacity to bloom in inhospitable or overlooked places makes wildflowers emblems of resilience, transformation, hope, and renewal. And we can see that in these photos of wildflowers growing up out of what looks like, well, quite inhospitable. It's like, how does life flourish here? And yet it does. And we see the transformation of the butterfly connecting with the flowers. Mm. For many, wildflowers are viewed as manifestations of sacred energy, a tangible bridge between heaven and earth. In Native American teachings, wildflowers often stand for guidance from ancestors and wisdom of the land. I want to let those ideas filter through with this photo here. For centuries, foragers, herbalists, and healers have partnered with wildflowers to bring medicine and food. And I was reminded of this quote. This is from Rico Check's Growing Your Garden Pharmacy. And he says, the strongest medicine comes from wildflowers or from flowers grown in wild gardens. Um, I don't know, I just love this quote. I think about it a lot, especially with these new ways of flowing. We don't necessarily have to be wildflowers. We can be wildflowers in wild gardens. Wildflowers can exist anywhere. It's just a touch of wildness or total wildness. And this quote reminds me of another quote that was shared after Teacher Way's US retreat that just happened in the spring. And this is from Megan's blog article on the Hearts Rooted site. You can see the link here at the bottom of the slide. And this is Teacher Way. If you want to heal, you have to be wild. And I don't know. I just love this. And Megan gives a beautiful exploration of this topic in the blog article as well. And Irene in class this morning, she was talking about shoulds and how shoulds can get in the way of our laughter. And I would say in the way of our wildness as well and our free expression. So I don't know, just enjoying the beauty of wildflowers helps us connect to this idea of healing and our own wildness. And now I would like to share a song called Wildflowers by the Waylon Jennies. And these lovely flowers here on the screen can accompany this song. And you can keep your eyes open or just soft or closed, whatever feels good. And we will be among the wildflowers.
You belong among the wildflowers. You belong on a boat out at sea. Sail away, kill off the hours. You belong somewhere you feel free. Sail away, go find a lover. Go away, somewhere bright and new. I see no
They only say it once in that song, but one of the lines is, "Let your heart be your guide." And I'm reminded of all of our baby hearts and coming to our true selves and listening to our baby hearts and what it means to be among the wildflowers. So thank you for sharing that song. And here's a photo of Robin actually among the wildflowers. So this segues into the last part of the presentation where we are going to hang out among the wildflowers and the photos. I'm not going to talk, I'm just going to go through beautiful wildflower images, and I invite us to be just like Robin is here in this photo, totally immersed and connected between the earth and the heaven, just like the wildflowers. So you can gaze at the photos or just connect in and see what feels good to you as these wildflowers come across the screen. What was the last one? Oh, oh. Hmm. Thank you, everyone. It felt like every photo has a story. They all have a personality. It just, I don't know, really beautiful. Hmm.
Well, Elizabeth, August and fireweed reminds me, isn't your birthday around now?
Yeah, I had a birthday. Yeah, this
When
month. It was August 11.
August 11th. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I have an association of August fireweed, Elizabeth's birthday from your fireweed last year.
Yes, and I incorporated quite a bit into this. They're just, I don't know, they're so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now when I'm out hiking in the mountains, I always see fireweed and always take a nibble because you said it was edible. And I think of you. It's the
Mhm.
quintessential wildflower.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah, and it really has that patience and wisdom. It just it embodies because it can wait years before, and that's the one of the most powerful things about all of these medicinal herbs and wildflowers. They're so patient, waiting for when the time is right for them to grow and bloom and participate um, in the landscape. And fireweed, yeah, fireweed is a great example. Yeah, it reminds me of my birthday too. There's another inspiration for wildflowers as a kind of a birthday present to myself.
Thought so. That's why I wanted to say something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, dear friend. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you so much for that presentation. I love how we get to go back over wild again, because I know we all kind of went through it 6 months ago, and I love how it's coming back in the field now. And we might say that wildflowers have the wisdom to arrive when they arrive, right? But what I'm seeing today is wildflowers, they get the inspiration and they show up when and where they want to because, when you are embodying wild, you're moving from the heart and you're not moving from shoulds, like Irene was talking about this morning, and you're not moving from what other people want you to do or societal constraints or what should be, all these shoulds. It's really this like embodied inspiration and that flowing energy, right? Gosh, when you started the presentation, all the water in my eyes are watering, my like mouth is water. I mean, it's so visceral, right? The medicine they bring. Um, and that wildness is something that we all crave, but then it's also something that we're all afraid of, right? Which is why sometimes they call wildflowers weeds. But you can't have it both ways, right? Like you can't have that freedom without giving yourself and everyone else and all the other living beings the full agency of motion, full range of motion. Doesn't mean that everyone's going to exercise all the full range of what they could do. Doesn't mean they will, but like if you start cutting things off, you can't do that, you can't do this, you have to do this, you have to do that. Um, it starts, it blocks things, and that's I'm sure why Teacher Way says if you want to heal, you have to be wild, right? It's this paradox of like you have to have the agency of your full range of choice and motion, also while staying heart-centered and heart-led. So yeah, the wildflowers really exemplify that. They do whatever they want. They show up when they want. I don't think it's when they're needed. I think it's when they want to. And that's awesome. So anyway, thank you. Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
beautiful.
Yeah. That connects too with their self-sowing their seeds. I mean, you can have the seeds can be carried hundreds of miles away. So even if you don't realize a wildflower could be present, like say there's an invitation for wildness, and it takes years, but that seed is there waiting, or there are roots underground, as with the perennial wildflowers. I mean, there's just this ever-present invitation for that wildness, even if we don't see it on a hillside or along a stream, it's there. Which is a great boon for our healing because it means at any time we can connect in to that wildness, to that invitation, the seed, the roots, the fertility. Even if it doesn't look fertile at a glance, it is. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and they often show up in the disrupted areas, right? The places where there's been a wound, right? So like imagining in our bodies, like where does the wildness go? It goes to where we've been wounded. That's fascinating. Anyway, got so much to think about. Thank you. So inspiring. Ella.
Makes me think of my great wish to have milkweed on my property, and I've been here 25 years and no milkweed. And suddenly this last year, last year was the first time I had like one or two, and now they're spreading. And and then a friend brought me another variety that I could mix in with these that have orange blossoms, and I can put them out in the field with the others. But they came when they wanted to. That's, I was wanting them for a long time, so maybe when I just forgot about it, then they decided they wanted to come.
Mm. Mm. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Mm. It is always a surprise. I feel that with all of the seasons. It's like, which wildflowers will be where? It's like, yeah, they come when they want. It's very true. And it's like a treasure hunt when you go out and you're like, which flowers are here now? Yeah, so milkweed. Allah. Allah. Hmm. Does anything else want to come out verbally now, or anyone who wants to be brought into the field or anything?
I just want to thank you for this beautiful presentation and this information that you gals have been adding to this wildness. So it's just amazing. And seeing some of the wildflowers, I was like, I didn't even know a lot of them, right? Like they're just so plentiful and they're abundant and rich, and yes, each flower has its own energy and story, and it's just really beautiful presentation. And I felt Robin here a lot too.
Yeah. Yes.
You really did. So thank you.
Yeah, she's camping as far as I know. So that's why she's not here. She said she would try, but she didn't know how the reception would be. But yes, she shared many beautiful, beautiful images. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Some of the photos are more like tundra flowers, which is also really interesting to imagine these wildflowers flourishing in the tundra. So yeah, it's very inspiring. Thank you, Irene. Um, Howla, howla.
And some of the photos came from your friend Gene,
Yes.
and we visited him in Oregon, and beautiful property out there, and just a beautiful area in general, and some amazing photos there in the mountains. So let's add Gene.
Yep. I asked him if we could share his wildflower photos because he has
Want me to do
a deep love of
it?
wildflowers. I said, of course. So And he's in that PNW area with Robin, so we had a strong, and I had to add the Alaska flair. So yeah, so yes, Gene, we bring Gene and his partner Holly, and all of their loved ones and all of their hikes and adventures and their generosity over the years. Oh, wow. Yeah, Gary.
Had to unmute. It was interesting. Thank you so much for the presentation, by the way. It was really interesting. A lot of the pictures of the flowers that we saw, we recognize, but we know not what they're called. And it reminded us of a time when we were outside of Crested Butte, Colorado, which most of you probably aren't familiar with, but up a long gulch that runs up, and there was a lake up there where we camped, and then we started hiking higher, and we got into some wildflowers that were taller than our waist, and it was just an incredible experience. Anyway, and then I'd like to have everybody keep Karen in the field, which she's having some hip issues. So thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
And I'd like to put our friend Jane and Laura in the field also.
I'd like to put David and Maria in the field of our love in these wildflowers for Maria to find deep healing.
I'd like to put Lauren in the field when she had her fall. Better, but Paula, you want me to say hi? Say hi.
I'm right here. I'm enjoying it very much. I love the Tuesday night nature healing.
We love having you here, and you're absolutely in the field. Yeah, falls. I heard about that fall. Yeah, yeah.
And it looks like you're actually in a wildflower field.
It does. Yeah, yeah. I love that too.
I want to put Bobby and Alex and Caitlin and myself and our growing living situation in the field.
Mm, mhm. Mm. It's a rich field.
Just want to thank St. John's Wort and Arnica Flowers. Seems like we need that with all the falls.
Calendula has been a symbol.
Calendula, hella.
In what medicinal purpose is foxwood?
Foxwood.
Firewood, I mean, firewood.
Weed.
Well, it's an edible, gosh, I don't remember all of it. You can make tea with it. It can provide nourishment when there's really nothing else, nothing else growing. I don't remember all of it. I think, is it cooling? It has a lot of properties, like all of the beautiful. I don't remember all of it. Yeah.
I could look it up, but I just didn't know.
Yeah.
It was fascinating. That is fascinating. I didn't even know about it. So it was
We have a whole nature healing on it from last August. I'll send it to you. I'll put it in the notes of this video. Yeah, it was amazing. So Elizabeth did a masterful job on that for her birthday last year. So
I knew you were a Leo. I had it. That was my dad's birthday. Happy birthday. Had I known, I would have worn the hat. Next year.
Yeah, yes, next year. I don't know what I'll do for next year's birthday theme. Yeah. Yeah, wildflowers. I actually, to Gary's point, like not knowing the names of the flowers, I intentionally didn't name a lot of these flowers. I realized I read this quote as I was doing the research, and they said wildflowers don't care what their names are. And I thought that was so interesting. I embraced it a little bit. Like my curiosity was like, "What's this and what's that?" But I, I don't know. So I'm with you, Gary. I'm like, but it's yeah, it's interesting to just let that wildness and that not
They,
knowing.
they don't have an ego.
Yeah, so thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm holding all of these sharings and all of the people in this field, especially among the wildflowers, and imagining us all standing in these waist high wildflowers. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. If we're ready, we'll move into our official consciousness field setting, though it feels like we've been steeped in the field this whole time. So we'll just kind of go with a simple, light field setting and carry our connections that we made with all of the beautiful flowers and our memories and our loved ones and all of the healing that's being supported in this field. So let's find a comfortable position, either staying seated or standing or laying down. And take your time. Take your time resting into your position. Connecting into the support of the earth beneath the buildings that we're in. Feeling that groundedness. Feeling our roots, our individual, our collective roots. And breathing into those roots. And from that place of stability and connection, allow the spine to lengthen, just like a flower stem, lifting the crown of the head up to the heaven, connecting to the sky, the stars, up into the Milky Way. Feeling that sacred energy of being beings between heaven and earth, flowing with earth energy, flowing with heaven energy. And feeling ourselves connected into the powerful wildflower field. All of the flowers, named, unnamed, known, unknown. And merging into this collective consciousness, the oneness of all beings. And inviting this collective consciousness to flow into the center of the head, bringing our awareness to the upper dantian, the Shenji Palace, feeling our Mingjue merging with the upper dantian. Mm. 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 The head inner space grows peaceful and subtle. And our pure awareness, our Mingjue opens. It opens and it merges with the universe. Shoo. The upper dantian, empty. We feel this peaceful awareness flowing from the head inner space down through the neck, the shoulders, arms and hands, to flow into the center of the chest, the middle dantian. Our peaceful awareness, our Mingjue gazes at the inner space of the chest, the heart, and the lungs, and all the tissues. Mm. Mm. We feel this heart energy in our middle dantian expanding and connecting with all the baby hearts in the collective consciousness field and all the baby hearts everywhere. Mm. Mm. And we feel the guidance of our hearts. Mm. 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 Mingjue merges with the inner space of the chest and the middle dantian. We observe it growing subtler, softer, and opening to universe chi and merging. Shoo. And this empty but not empty entirety moves from the chest inner space into the Huanyuan Palace, the area of the solar plexus. Mm. Mm. We observe the inner space, the emotional body, the organ chi. Mm. Mm. We feel the Huanyuan Palace harmonizing,
Yes.
softening, and opening. And the inner space merges with universe chi. Shoo. And this peaceful awareness flows from the Huanyuan Palace into the lower dantian, the area in and around the navel, all of the organs of the low abdomen. Mm. 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 Mingjue observes and merges with the lower dantian. Allowing this peaceful awareness to radiate radiate through all the cells, all the spaces, all the organs. Mm. Mm. And this peacefulness, this awareness opens and softens, blurring the boundaries between inside and outside, merging with universe chi. Shoo. This awareness expands into the hips, the legs, the feet, feeling ourselves grounded. And this groundedness, this awareness flows into the spine, mm-hmm. The hips, the legs, the feet, the spine open and merge with universe chi. Shoo. And we observe this entirety, the entirety of our chi body, the entirety of our connection to the field. Mm. Mm. We feel the power of this field, this healing consciousness field, flowing, permeating, and harmonizing all the energy. Mm. Mm. This harmonious, peaceful awareness of the entirety softens, opens, merges with universe chi. Shoo. And together, we are Mingjue love. We are Mingjue peace. We are Mingjue joy. We are Mingjue wildness. And we are Mingjue gratitude. We bring the vibration of this mantra, the vibration of this healing consciousness field, our baby hearts. We bring it into this merging, this collective consciousness. And we thank our teachers, Dr. Pong, Teacher Wei, all teachers, sages, healers, practitioners, all wisdom traditions. And if it feels good, you can remain in this formal healing consciousness field, concluding whenever you're ready. Otherwise, Allow your awareness to return to the body, stacking the palms over the navel, Du Chi. Feeling the breath in lower dantian. Noticing the space around you, any air blowing on you, any sounds. Feeling the surface supporting the body. And allow this embodied awareness to merge with this collective consciousness field, with universe chi, with the entirety, embodying it and bringing it into the night and days ahead. How love. And when you're ready, you can gently move and open the eyes if that feels good. Thank you.